Imagine having one Etsy listing doing over $50,000 in revenue, kind of like this one. Or let's take it up a notch. What about doing over $70,000 from one single listing like this one? Or even $100,000 from one single Etsy listing like this one. Here's the kicker. None of these are actually traditional print-on-demand products. And that is actually the key to why they've been so successful in producing basically a full-time income from one single listing. If you don't already know this, using a production partner was actually the key to my personal success with hitting multiple seven figures in my Etsy shop. The difference is nowadays you have tools like Accio that never existed when I was manually going door by door, knocking on doors really, to find that perfect production partner. And that's why in this video, I'm going to reveal this free strategy to landing your perfect production partner so you can immediately start sourcing high quality manufacturers and production partners with the help of AI that actually works. Again, this is a completely free strategy, and I wish something like this actually existed when I was first starting out. And of course, if you stay until the end, there's a bonus. I'm going to be revealing my exact product type that made me over $600,000 on Etsy that was made with the help of a production partner. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So first of all, why are print-on-demand failing so many sellers? Print-on-demand has its perks, of course, but nowadays it's so brutally competitive that we're seeing markets just constantly getting flooded and oversaturated. It's making it harder and harder to actually stand out. You end up playing a numbers game and having to launch hundreds of listings, hoping that something will stick. Plus, the profit margins are super slim, which doesn't leave a lot of room to invest in your Etsy ads, which, as we know, is the key to scaling your Etsy shop to the max. And that again is why in this video, I'm going to show you how to break free from all of the noise and launch a high profit Etsy shop with the help of a production partner. So first and foremost, how can a production partner transform your business? So when I first started out, I was handmaking everything. And what you quickly find when you're doing customer service, design, sourcing raw materials, all of that stuff yourself, it's really hard to build a scalable business unless you have really strong systems in place. Now, for my second shop, we actually have achieved this with our sewing business, but it is very hard to do everything yourself. Plus, then more people, more problems. You're then also managing a team to help you. With my first shop, our entire production process was with the aid of a production partner. And again, this is something that is allowed on Etsy, just like print on demand, as long as you disclose it in your listing. The best part is finding a production partner now is easier than ever. You don't really need to worry about getting scammed or language barriers or even having to buy thousands of units up front. Now you can start opening orders with these production partners now, sometimes under 10 units. So now in the next part of this video, I am going to walk you through the exact step of number one, how to validate your product on Etsy, 2, estimate its profit, and number 3, how to find the perfect production partner with Accio. And again, this is a completely free tool that you can use. It is backed by Alibaba. A lot of you probably already know is the top source to be connected to production partners from all over the world. So let's dive into my desktop. So as you can see here, Accio, powered by Alibaba, is the world's first AI-powered B2B sourcing engine for e-commerce sellers and entrepreneurs, providing accurate and trusted results, as well as connection with over 1.5 million suppliers. Already over 500,000 SMEs are already using Accio to simplify sourcing. So I personally, again, did not have access to something like this when I first started. Now it's like you can shop for production partners, just like you can shop for Etsy. It's really, honestly, it's that easy. You can talk to a real person. You can even see reviews of their production house and their customer service. So you can find a manufacturer's. And one thing I think that you have to realize is that you can pretty much find a manufacturer/production partner to make anything that you want, any design, any product. For the most part, you can find someone that will make it for you on this platform. But it even takes it a step further. They have a business research function that will actually map out an entire business plan for you. So let me just show you exactly how this worked. Remember those personal personalized baby baskets that did over $100,000 on Etsy. Let's have it tell us exactly how to bring this concept to market. All right, so I am going to use their business research tool and I'm going to type in this prompt. I want to launch personalized woven baskets on Etsy. Give me the top sources to find I'm going to put cotton woven baskets on Etsy. Give me top sources to find the baskets, cost breakdowns with potential profits if I'm selling them at $18 per one. What machinery I would potentially need to buy or suppliers that can make and ship to my customer. So let's see what it gives us back. Awesome. So as you can see, it's starting to give us back an entire business plan. So top sources for custom cotton woven baskets. So it's giving you potential price breakdowns, potential minimum order quantity. And you can see we can find some as low as like $2.33. Obviously, this is just giving you a high level, like what the opportunity is. Here, it's giving a cost breakdown and profit analysis, extra Etsy selling fees. So we can actually see what our actual profit per unit would be at $18. So it looks like we're going to clear maybe close to about a 50% profit if we're selling at $18, which is kind of crazy. Machinery and production considerations, suppliers offering production and direct shipping. So I put that in there to see potentially, I don't know if this is a thing, but similar to print on demand, print on demand is a very similar thing. You get an order and the supplier fulfills it for you. So I was just trying to see maybe they can connect us to suppliers that would actually do that as well, which it looks like might be possible. Different types of machinery, the materials that we may need. So that's actually kind of crazy that it gave me an entire potential business plan. But let's just take it a step further. I'm going to do a new search here and I'm going to actually just upload the picture of the basket and see if it can find us some suppliers. So now I'm going to do a product search and I'm going to actually upload the image. So let's go ahead and upload that actual image and say, I want to find top suppliers that will make these personalized baskets and ship. Awesome. So as you can see here, they're already giving back top suppliers. And what's really cool is, like we said, is that you can see the reviews. So you want to prioritize, obviously, the manufacturers that have 5 out of 5 stars. So they also have a filter in here that has a ready to ship button. So if I come in here and click on ready to ship, so I'm going to go ahead and filter them by ready to ship and hit apply and see how that changes everything. Great. So as you can see, we still have some really good top suppliers. So the next thing I'm going to do is hit this compare button so I can compare side by side some of these top production partners. So this looks really good. This one also has 5 out of 5. This one has 4.9 out of 5. This one has 5 out of 5. And this is Accio's super compare function. So now, as you can see, we can compare them side by side. So as you can see, we have one here that the minimum order quantity is only 2 bags. But for example, this one the minimum order quantity is 50 pieces, which that's actually still pretty low. So even if this is $4 with shipping, maybe it goes to $5 per unit. That means that you're all in for your first batch. It's probably going to be less than about $400 for your opening order. So if I was going to sell these baskets, I would take this approach. So I would keep analyzing, trying to find, use their super compare feature, try to find the top manufacturers that have the minimum order quantity that makes sense for you, that you can afford financially. And I would start conversations with your favorite ones. I would reach out to probably 3 to 5 and judge them on the following things. 1, I would see if they offer drop shipping, so they actually do the name for you, which based off some of the reviews, it looks like you actually can do that. And ask them, what is the logistics of them shipping it direct to your customer? Likely they already are doing it for other companies, and that's why this is actually maybe available, but it's always subject for negotiation and just reaching out to them to see what they offer. Number 3, if none of them actually do the personalization request for you, then ask them what are the logistics of doing that name design on the basket and if it's something that you can do. And most likely they're going to logistically explain to you or show you how you can actually do this on the basket. Likely it comes with the yarn already and because that is what's being shown in the main picture. Number 4, I would order samples from all of our suppliers and I would check quality. And a lot of times when you reach out to these suppliers, you can ask for a sample and they understand that you need to be able to vet the product before you just start with a minimum order quantity. And then finally, I would rank your favorite supplier based off quality, price, communication, and speed of shipping to you, because that is usually going to be the service that they give your customer. These are standard things that we analyze when we're choosing a production partner. A production partner and the relationship with your production partner is super, super important. And obviously, this is just one example, but like I said, with Accio, you can source a production partner. Say you have an idea for producing a children's books, a custom game, a puzzle, you want to make your own tarot cards, home decor line, yoga apparel, right? You can find all of that here. And pretty much anything that you want to put your own design on or customize, these manufacturers can do it. The sky is really the limit. And why this is more beneficial, again, obviously, than print on demand is because print on demand providers are also the middleman. Right? They're just another middleman connecting you to the production partner. Accio is connecting you direct to the source. So these are the actual lowest prices that you will get for your products. Now let's do another one together. The last one, the product was already validated because we saw on Etsy, we estimated the amount of sales, right? That one that did over 100,000. We estimated that based off the amount of reviews that it had gotten and the sale price. But now let's do another one. So let's do a custom puzzle. So I'm going to look up a custom puzzle that looks like it's performing well. So if you're ever doing product validation, say you want to launch a line of puzzles, right? If you're ever trying to do product validation, the easiest way to do this on Etsy is by typing in the keywords that describe the product that you want to sell. So I just typed in the word puzzle, but if you have a specific puzzle that you wanted to launch and sell, then I would type in your specific puzzle to try to validate it. Then going to sort this page. I'm going to go ahead and click on star seller, and then I'm going to take out the word star in the URL and I'm going to replace it with the word best, and I'm going to allow the best sellers to gravitate towards the top. All right, so here is a listing that says best seller here, or this one is pretty as well, but let's go ahead and click on this one. All right, so this product has 14 carts. So it is a bestseller. It is in 14 carts. I normally like to validate product ideas with 20 plus add to carts, but 14 carts isn't horrible. So if I wanted to manufacture this puzzle or find a manufacturer for this puzzle, and what's cool about this is that this puzzle looks like it was probably an AI design, like they used some AI tool to make this graphic, but it is selling, right? And it has 54 reviews for the product. My store gets about 2 reviews for every 10 sales. So this puzzle has probably sold at least over 250 times, which is pretty good. Now let's try to go source a production partner on Accio that could produce me this puzzle. So we're going to try out a different functionality, the deep search functionality in Accio. So if we go back to Accio and we highlight the deep search functionality, I'm going to prompt, I want to make a custom puzzle and sell it on Etsy. I need a reliable production partner to take my custom art and put it on the puzzle for me. Show me the best production partners for the best pricing and reviews. So what this deep search function does, it's about 5 times faster for supplier shortlistings for complex requirements. Accio performs multiple rounds of heavy lifting, cross-checking work for you. Deep search is basically turning weeks of trying to source products into seconds. Deep search reasoning works very similar to DeepSeek, which is another, AI, very famous AI tool that's out on the market right now. But this is very specific to sourcing production partners. We go back to our prompt. Let's see what it gives us. And what's really cool is it always is going to show you its reasoning behind its decision. So it's going to, as it's loading, it's going to justify why it's thinking the way that it's thinking, which honestly makes sense. Okay, cool. So right out the gates, let's just first go back to Etsy and see what we're competing against. So they have 110, a 200, a 500, and 1,000 piece variation option for this listing. So let's just see what we are competing against. Wow. Okay. So this one is you can make a 1,000 to a 500 piece puzzle for only less than $5. So that's kind of crazy. So we're going to use their super compare functionality again and highlight our favorite ones, especially the ones ones with the good ratings. 34% reorder rate. Here's another one with 4.9 stars. So even if you have to order 100 pieces at $2 a piece, after you factor in maybe $2 shipping per unit, right, you're maybe looking at $400 for that opening order, which is pretty good if you ask me. So I'm going to highlight all the ones that I like and then look at the super compare functionality. So this one has 10 reviews at perfect 5 stars. So yeah, this 100-piece puzzle, if you only buy 100 units, is starting at only $1.69. That's absolutely insane. So let's actually try to do a profit compare, directly compare against this listing. So this listing for 520-piece puzzle is $34.99. So there's a free Chrome extension that Profit Tree has, and they have a free pricing calculator. So sale price here is $34.99. Let's say, I think this listing is actually offering free shipping, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, free shipping. So let's just try to calculate what the actual profit is. You can go to the Chrome extension and get this free Chrome extension. So if we type in, again, $34.99, they're not charging for shipping. But the cost of goods, I think we saw it was $169. If we estimate that maybe every box is about another, let's just make it worst case of $3. That means the landed cost for this is about $4.89. Shipping to your customer, let's just say worst case, it's $5.99. Let's calculate your profit. Shipping price is 0. Let's calculate that. Right. So we're looking at, on a $500 piece puzzle, you're looking at about a $20 profit on a $35 sale, which is way over a 50% profit margin, leaving you a lot of room to scale this listing with ads. And again, the best part, what's really interesting about these puzzles is that that image looks like it was an AI image, like someone made that image with AI. But with a lot of these AI image new tools out there, you basically own the usage rights to that design that you can use. All right, this is the next little case study that we're going to go through. I'm really excited about because this one is phone cases. So let's actually go validate the product idea on Etsy first. So when I type in phone case, the one I'm looking at is this one right here. So 17 people bought this in the last 24 hours, right? This listing has over 1,900 reviews. So if we do the same rule of thumb, for every 10 sales, you get 2 reviews. That's over 9,000 sales. This is a really, really hot listing. So I'm going to do that same business plan functionality on Accio again to see what the business plan would be to bring something like this to life. I went to sell personalized embossed letter engraved leather phone cases on Etsy. The problem is I need to find a supplier that has good reviews that can be my production partner. I also do not know how to emboss letters on leather phone cases on the leather phone case. Tell me what machinery I would need and where to buy and how to do it. I am looking for a full business breakdown so I can launch the store on Etsy, keeping my startup costs as low as possible. So we're going to highlight the business research function and see what it gives us back. Awesome. And again, it is giving us a full business breakdown. 1, sourcing reliable suppliers for the leather phone case, where we're most likely going to do that, the machinery that we're possibly is going to be required, right? That personalization, it seems pretty simple, and it looks like we can actually source that machine for relatively cheap. The biggest thing that worries me about this is like, I really have no idea how to engrave things. So I'm going to ask it, give me more information about the embosser machine options and price breakdowns, right? Because if this machine is like thousands of dollars, maybe we don't want to do it. Awesome. So it's giving us back some of our options. So a manual craft embosser looks like it starts at $150 to $200. As low as here, it looks like we can get one for about $40 to $60. So, I mean, if I'm first starting this business, maybe I go for the cheaper option that still gets that good look and I do it manually. And then once we make some money, we reinvest it in more expensive machinery. So it's giving us back a bunch of different options here. And of course, we can can definitely ask it to actually find us. Oh, wow. Awesome. And it's actually giving us the exact listings that we can buy these machines from. So that problem is absolutely solved for us. Let's do that same search again by giving it the exact image of the exact product that we want to source. And let's see if we can actually find a manufacturer selling the same phone case. So if I screenshot this, go back into Accio and give it that image, let's see if it can find it for us. Wow. Okay. Crazy. So here is that exact supplier. This one only has 4.8, but I'm going to highlight it for my super compare. Here it is again at 4.9. Awesome stuff. Looks like this is also another one here. Oh, cool. And this one here. And then I would do that same super compare functionality to try to figure out which supplier I want to go with. So this one has 183 reviews on 4.9, which is really, really good. So this is definitely probably one of my top candidates. And then I'd probably go with this one and this one just based off of the amount of reviews that they have, or actually maybe all 4 of them. But again, I would continue to look even beyond just looking at 4. I would look at more in the search page. And guys, I would follow the same steps every single time, right? You want to reach out to get samples from at least 3 to 5 and judge them on all of those key attributes that we talked about before, right? Communication, quality, price, and speed of shipping. That is super, super important. Guys, this is really the process that I would follow over and over again, right? With Accio, it's super easy. Now, without further ado, I'm going to reveal my exact product type that made me over $600,000 on Etsy. But before I do that, make sure you go to the link in the description and check out Accio. Again, this is a completely free resource for you to start sourcing your ideal production partner. All right, guys. And as promised, we are going to reveal my number 1 product that made me over $600,000 on Etsy. Now, obviously, I cannot reveal the actual listing because having thousands of people click over to the listing will actually destroy not only the listing, but my shop when my conversion rate completely plummets because no one's actually buying. They're just looking at my listing. But as I promised, I can tell you the exact product type, and I will even add in bonus here, the core attributes that made this listing go so viral. So the listing was a fast fashion gold necklace set. And fast fashion just basically means that I'm not selling solid gold. I am not selling at hundreds of dollars. It is fast fashion to me is a mix of chasing trends with your own spin on it. So companies like Free People, Victoria's Secret, H&M, Zara, those are fast fashion trends where they're pulling their looks from, Gucci, Versace or whatever, but they're putting their own spin on it to be in trend. And so some of the core attributes that made this product so successful was the following. So number 1, we had a tier of upsell. So if you go into Etsy and you find a listing that has a drop-down menu, which I actually can show you an example of this. So for example, in this listing, you see $29 as the front end price. And in their drop-down menu, you will see they have a tier of upsell. So going up and down. So, obviously the lowest price is here. So they see this beautiful box, they see $29, and then they can pick from different options with the most expensive price being at $52. This is what a tier of upsells look like. And this is very valuable to have in a lot of your listings. You don't have to do it in every single listing, but it's a really good practice to have a tier of upsells and a tier of downsells. So that means that you can capitalize on people that are willing to spend more money and also capitalize on people that don't want to break the bank. And this absolutely kills your click-through rate and your average order value because kills and then does well for you because essentially what happens is people see this in the main image, and then when they click over here, the idea is that, the picture changes and it goes to the cheaper option, the thing to sell. And this is not being dishonest. This is just marketing. And this is what helps get you that click. And then, of course, the hardest part about all of this is earning that click in comparison to your competition. And then once you earn that click, you can sell them on your beautiful imagery, your storytelling, your video, so on and so forth. So that is the first component, is that we had a tier of upsells and a tier of downsells. The second big component is that we use pattern interrupt imagery. So if I type in something like, I don't know, birthday gifts, right? And then we go to, let's type in something a little bit specific, like dog collars, right? And what we're looking for is something that is pattern interrupt. And this is a very perceptual based thing. It's not something that you always get on all of your listings, but when you can, or when time permits, you're looking to stand out in comparison to your competition. So you're trying to do things that are potentially pattern interrupt with your actual product or just the image itself. So again, this is a very perceptual based thing. So something to me that looks like pattern interrupt is actually this, where you don't see a dog anywhere and then all of a sudden, there's no main image with an actual dog face, but this is definitely going to grab your attention. And this is something to test because you don't always get it on the first try. Sometimes pattern interrupt, it really, really works. Sometimes it doesn't work that well. But for us specifically, our specific listing, it was very pattern interrupt. Everyone was using super neutral tones, no color, just like beiges and whites as their main image. And we had a big pop of green in the corner of our image, which made it very stand out. This is a little bit different since there's a lot of colors in general here, but in our space, we were competing with everyone just doing neutrals, whereas we did a pop of color, right? And obviously this main image is actually working since there is 20 add to cart. So that is, I would consider that definitely pattern interrupt. The next thing that we did was run ads. So running ads on the listing most definitely 5x'd our revenue and increased our profit by 30%. And we know this because you can run the numbers and see what the listing would have made if you did not run ads. So ads are what you see here. And basically your ads show up when someone types in the keywords for what you have to buy. And that's why you show up in the first place. And so it puts you at the top of the page. And so if a listing has already proven to sell well organically, it's definitely a good next step to start investing in ads. So you're setting up your listing for the max potential. We have a full free Etsy ads masterclass in the link below in the description. So if you are somebody that has proven to make regular sales, you know how to make sales, then definitely go ahead and click over to that full free masterclass so you can learn how to scale your ads profitably. At minimum, it's going to 2x your revenue if you're doing it correctly. So those are the three main things that contributed to the success of our listing. Of course, it was also the right product at the right time. And, that just came with testing a lot of products and having a consistent Etsy launch process. We were launching at my max. I was working 16 hours a day, launching every single day. You don't need to do that, but you do need to have a consistent Etsy listing launch process in your business. Overall, guys, thank you so much for staying to the end, and I hope to see you in the next video.